Welcome to the Carols of Christmas. Each day leading up to Christmas, I'll talk about a particular Christmas carol, explaining some of the history and background behind the carol, and then finally I will sing a verse of it for you. Some will be familiar, and some probably not. They all point us toward the true reason for the season, our Savior, Jesus Christ. My name is Michael D. Young, and today we'll be talking about a little town of Bethlehem. This is the episode for December 2nd. So, O Little Town of Bethlehem was originally a carol that was written for children, but has grown to be sung by people of all ages, of course. It was written by an American. So this is not one of those old English carols, it's an American carol. His name was Philip Brooks, and he did so in 1865, after he actually visited Bethlehem in person. He intended it for Sunday school children in his parish in Philadelphia. So he visited the Holy Land, went to Bethlehem, wrote this song about his experience, and came home and he wanted to share it in his church. It soon became popular, though, both in the United States and in England. So the story goes that he rode on horseback from Jerusalem to Bethlehem on Christmas Eve. I'll talk about getting into the spirit of the season. In his own words, this is a quote from Mr. Brooks. "Before dark, we rode out of town to the field where they say the shepherds saw the star. It is a fenced place of ground with a cave in it, in which, strangely enough, they put the shepherds. Somewhere in those fields we rode through, the shepherds must have been. As we passed, the shepherds were still keeping watch over their flocks, or leading them home to fold." So after this experience, he participated in a Christmas Eve service that lasted well into the night at the traditional site of the Nativity. So that was the inspiration behind this particular carol. So what's interesting about this one is that it's sung to several different tunes, including a tune called St. Louis, which is the traditional American tune. So when people in the United States sing it, they usually sing it to this tune. And then also Forest Green is the other tune, and that's the traditional English tune. So if you sing it in the British Isles, you'll probably sing it to the tune Forest Green. This is the one that's been used by Ralph Vaughan Williams, the famous British composer. So the hymn is usually only sung with 3 verses, but the original poem had 4 verses. And the last verse was directed more towards children. So I'm going to read you the last verse that's not often used anymore. "Where children pure and happy pray to the blessed child, where misery cries out to thee, Son of the undefiled, where charity stands watching and faith holds wide the door, the dark night wakes, the glory breaks, and Christmas comes once more." So that is the original 4th stanza of this poem. So I am going to demonstrate. I'm going to sing the first verse twice. And I'm going to sing first the St. Louis tune, which is the traditional American one, and then I'm going to sing the Forest Green tune, which is the traditional British one. So first, the American version. "O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie, above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by, yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light, the hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight." So that is the tune named St. Louis. Now I'm going to sing the tune Forest Green, the traditional British one. "O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie, above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by, yet in thy dark street shineth The everlasting light, the hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. You might have heard that particular tune used with other hymns. It's definitely used with other hymns, such as I Sing the Mighty Power of God, for example, or I Saw a Mighty Angel Fly. You might have heard that same hymn tune used, but that is the traditional British tune. Thank you so much for joining me today. Merry Christmas, and God bless us, everyone.